we just kept telling our guys, this is a rock fight. This is a fight on every possession because they are extremely physical on every screen, on every play. They're going to hit you, and you've got to match their physicality. And then offensively, I said, look, we've got to stop fighting running to the ball. We got to go back door. I thought overall, Bryce really wanted the ball in crucial times, made great plays. But this was a tremendous win for us because this was a very, very difficult game to play. And we had to be the better defensive team down the stretch, and we made some really good offensive plays, some good defensive plays. So it was a rock fight, but you're going to get that in Big East play.
It came on the road. The other times you really did it was at home. What can you say to how you guys were able to win with defense away from home tonight?
That's just who we are. I think the coaching staff do a great job of preparing us each and every week, for the upcoming matchups, and it's our jobs to go out there and do whatever it takes to come out with the win. And it wasn't pretty on the offensive end tonight, but I feel like everybody was committed, especially on the defensive end, especially in the second half, to just pull away, each possession. We're telling each other, each possession just lock in and try to win each 4 minutes, and I think we did that in the second half.
Bryce, you got a lot of people here tonight, and what's it like for you to come back and get to play at home?
Yeah, there was a few people that came out tonight. My family, friends, old coaching staff from my high school, some of the players from the high school team. It just means a lot to come back to where it all started and me being in the place I am today. It all started here, and it felt good to be back in Chicago and just play in front of my support system.
When's the last time you played here?
Last year.
Oh, you did play.
Yeah.
The Rick could say you wanted the ball. They cut it to 6, and you had that lefty drive. That play and just wanting the ball. How important was that moment to go score there?
I feel like I don't try to force a lot of stuff. I just try to take whatever the defense is giving me. I try to do what our system wants, and if it's open, I'm gonna take it. If not, I'm gonna look to play make for my teammates and stuff like that. But I'm just trying to make the right reads at all times and make the right play.
Sumi, when you take a look at this game, do you feel like it's trending on the arc of improvement, or do you feel like it's not really the kind of game that you can really say like, oh yeah, we took a step up from the last game?
Of course, it's a step up. DePaul is a great well coached team. They're physical. They get it done on the defensive end. And coach was telling us in the locker room, it's a great win. Anytime that you could go on the road and come out with a win, away from home, it's always a blessing and it's always a good thing. So there's a lot of things that we're just going to learn from. It's a game where you could get some teaching points and stuff like that, and especially for Yukon coming up. So just a great win. Everybody just did whatever it took to win. Everybody did their jobs, and you couldn't be any more happier.
Last season, a lot of the opponents that you guys faced and beat remarked about like you guys had a really good will to win. Do you think that this team is starting to show the same kind of will to win?
It's just the hatred for losing, honestly, and and I think obviously it starts with Coach Pitino, but when everybody when you have a winning culture, everybody wants to be a part of that, and I think that's exactly why these guys came to this program, obviously. So we're trending in the right direction. DePaul was a great win, like I said. But now we got to really just focus in on Yukon and move on from there.
And speaking of Yukon, you had a number of games against teams that were also nationally ranked when you were, and even the Kentucky game when both of you weren't, and they were opportunities for big signature wins. How are you looking at the import of this game against Connecticut?
We're not really just thinking about it as rankings. Obviously, yes, it's Yukon. Friday night, MSG, what much could you ask for? Just two great programs, going head to head, two great coaches. It's a lot. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a packed crowd, but all we could worry about, is ourselves and just doing and preparing the right way, preparing like a championship team, as coach says all the time, and just doing whatever it takes to come out with the win. Obviously, it's Yukon, so we got to go out there. We got to put 40 minutes together and come out with a W.
Last one, Zach. For, I guess, both of you guys, do you feel like you're ready for UConn? You know, number 3 team in the country, 18 in a row. Do you feel like you guys are ready, and how excited are you for the challenge?
I think we're ready. I mean, obviously we got to prepare. Pretty sure that we're going to be in tomorrow, you know, going over their personnel and stuff like that and just preparing at a high level. But I feel like we match up well. And, you know, just like Zuby said, it's going to be a great matchup head-to-head. And, you know, I think we'll be ready for it.
Ed all hammer home to him. Everyone's talking about Friday. Did you have to
They never talked about it, never even mentioned
So
it.
you didn't have to bring up, like...
Not at all.
Okay.
I just stressed to them that this is a much bigger game than Connecticut, much bigger.
Why?
If we lose this game tonight, it really hurts us. If we lose to UConn, it doesn't hurt us.
Rick, last year you guys were an incredible second half team. In the first half of this year, you guys have struggled in the second half of the game, but in this 8-game winning streak, you've kind of shown what you guys did last year after halftime. What happens?
I think one of the things you have to stop doing is stop comparing last year. There's no comparison between last year's team and this year's team. Not saying last year was better or worse. It's just a totally different type of basketball team. I think you got to stop. It's totally different. They have a great will to win like last year's team. They are undefeated on the road in the Big East. It's very difficult to win on the road. They're playing whatever style they have to play. They're getting it done and winning. So now they're going to play a team that's the best offensive team in the league, the best defensive team in the league. One of the elite teams in the nation. They don't really have a weakness. They got 2 great centers. They got 3 or 4 great shooters they put out there. And different than last year, they're a great defensive team now. That's why this tonight was such a good test for us, because this team really gets after you. They're very physical.
Rick, how do you generally feel about the trend of this team and how they're playing right now going into a game with a big field?
Well, I just try to prepare every game as if it's our last. I told the team beforehand, I said, when you get into February, I've mentioned to my teams all the time, you play this game as if you're getting ready to the NCAA tournament. I said, you don't show up in the NCAA tournament and say, okay, this is what we're going to do. You prepare now. This game we had to win to advance to Yukon. So that was the message we had for them. You prepare in February for March. And you know, right now, I think we're whatever style we have to play, their will to win is great.
Rick, you know, it was about a month ago when you lost the Providence game, and you haven't lost since. What's impressed you the most about this 8-game winning streak?
You know, we're going to, like I said, we're not going to go undefeated the rest of the way. We're going to lose again, but the key is to learn why you lost the game, why in those 4 minutes you gave up threes, and Providence is as talented as any team in the Big East, and they can beat anyone. Connecticut found that out two different times. So we're a hard-working team. We have a great will to win, and tonight was an excellent win for us. It wasn't a game of beauty, but 2 defensive teams that got after it.
You mentioned the will to win, and you know that was something last year's team developed. This one now is developing. Where does that kind of, you know, when you have so many new guys, that's got to take a while to instill. Do you think a lot of that comes from Zuby, from you? Where do you think that will to win?
I think none of us enjoy losing, and there's no coach that enjoys losing. But you know, if you lose a game and you play your asses off and you play hard, I just say to the guys, let's learn from that. Let's get better. But if you lose by not executing a certain facet of the game, they don't see the person coaching that after a win. They see somebody totally different. And we're doing a great job right now of learning why we lost.
What did you think of what Dylan said the other day about how you take losing?
I think it's true. I don't want to have my dog get shot, but it's the love of my life, so I don't want that to happen.
Coach, I'm just curious, what do you think are the biggest differences as Chris Holtman kind of tries to turn the ball around? What do you think are the biggest differences between last year's team and this year's team, having now played this year's team twice?
I think he's got it turned around because they play so hard. I mean, here's why he's a great coach. It's so difficult rebounding from that 18-point comeback of Xavier and get your guys to play this hard. That tells you he's a great coach. They didn't hang their heads. They went out and they tried everything possible to get a victory. So he's a great coach, has always been a great coach. I'm a big admirer of his ability as a coach. He'll turn around DePaul, there's not a question in my mind. There's a lot of coaches in this league that are very, very good, and they're trying to turn around, whether it's Georgetown, whether it's DePaul, whether it's Villanova, who's turning it around now. They're all excellent coaches, and they will turn it around.